Hello, everybody. We're so excited to be here with Mrs. Geeky for Computer Science Education Month, not just a week. Here at SciTech Institute, we want to highlight all different things going on across the state. And Mrs. Geeky is going to talk about makerspaces. So here she is, everybody.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. And I am Mrs. Geeky, and the reason is because it's chic to be geek. And if you notice, I have my motherboard earrings on, and I do have my motherboard necklace, so it truly is chic. All right, let's get started and talk about makerspaces and take the mystique out of those and how maybe you can put one in your school and why we want to have those. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And as I said, I'm Mrs. Geeky. I work for Buddha PD, and I also have my own consulting, mrsgeeky.com. All the things that I'm mentioning here in this presentation, I have links to on my website, and I will give you that website and show you where those are at the end. I'm so glad you're here. So over the next half hour or so, 45 minutes, we're going to talk about what is a makerspace, why a makerspace, and how you can make the space in your teaching environment. So what is a makerspace? Well, I pulled a few quotes. Laura Fleming, who has a wonderful book called Worlds of Making, says, a makerspace is a unique learning environment that encourages tinkering, play, and open-ended exploration for all. And Diana Rendina, who has a wonderful website with blog from Renovated Learning, says a makerspace is a place where students can gather to create, invent, tinker, explore, and discover using a variety of tools and materials. And then there's the Mrs. Geeky definition, is it's a teachable space for teachable moments. Well, okay, we've kind of defined it, but why do we need it? Well, I want you to take a look just for a minute here at a little video, and this is actually a true story. It's based on the Apollo 13 mission, where they had an explosion on the actual capsule, which rendered the oxygen system it broke it, basically. It was not working. He must have said the word make 2 or 3 times. And the actual solution that saved the lives of the astronauts was duct tape, plastic bags, hoses, socks, and a bungee cord. And that's an actual picture of how they fixed this CO2 capacitor on the Apollo 13 so they could get back home. We need to have kids thinking creatively, putting that square peg into the round hole. There's the actual NASA drawing. Here's a problem though. There's a creativity crisis. And Dr. Kim from the College of William and Mary did a huge study and continues. She has a great website at William and Mary that gives you more information and more studies she's done since this initial one. But what she has found is there's a decrease in creative thinking scores on the Torrance test of creative thinking. And this started about 15 years ago, and it's continuing to decline. So NASA, we have a problem. We need to get these kids to be creative again and be thinking more outside the box, that square peg into a round hole. She says successful creativity requires a creative climate, a creative attitude, and creative thinking. And this is where makerspaces come into play, because they're going to nurture the creativity that seems to be declining in our students. Okay, so we talked about why a makerspace. What about making this space? So how do we create such a space? What does that look like? Well, first of all, there's this misconception that I need to go get a grant and get all this money to go have a makerspace, and right there could be a roadblock. But as Gary Stager put it, when school leaders tell me our school is building a $25 million makerspace, I'm concerned that makerspaces may exacerbate educational inequality. Teachers whose makerspaces in a few cardboard boxes are doing brilliant work. And this is good news, because you can start a makerspace at your school with very little to no money. So this is something I developed a few years ago. It's about low tech, mid tech, and high tech, because I see makerspaces as scaffolding through the grade bands. So low tech, we're talking about, this is our entry level, maybe with our kindergartners up to second, third, fourth grade. You're going to have household items. You're going to have recyclables. You're going to have lots of imagine activities. Paper, cardboard, plastic bottles, rubber bands, and you see the list goes on. Excuse me, I get so excited, I get dehydrated. And then we're going to talk about how that scaffolds up to mid-tech, which is as we get to those middle school. And we start applying what we've learned in the low-tech makerspace into a mid-tech. We're starting to learn computer science. We're learning how computer science can be applied to all kinds of things around us in our environment. And then we go to high tech, and sometimes people call these fab labs, which is the original term, where you actually are really seeing that confluence of creativity, computer science, and building things. So I'm going to show you examples of each. And by the way, don't ever underestimate cardboard. Did you know that Dyson, when he was creating the vacuum cleaner with the ball on the front, which is so handy, he did over 100 prototypes with cardboard before he even built an initial one, you know, with plastic or whatever it is they build it with. But at any rate, don't ever underestimate cardboard. And by the way, and I have links to this on my website, there's a great video called Kane's Arcade, which also talks about the power of creating with paper, with cardboard, and with the young group, and what you can create and what that can lead to.